Yo, in this video what we got going on, we are going to knock out primer. I got a turbo kit for this thing. We do a little bit of work on the doors and we just do a little bit of a lot of stuff. So let's get started, man. This is an exciting upload.
And now, you're watching the women's beach volleyball match that ended with a devastating wrist injury by me, channel of YouTube. Welcome to BodeVision.
Hey, so what's up and welcome. Thanks so much for joining me yet again on another video. So I do not want to waste any time. I just got a delivery. I want to get right into that and show you exactly what I got. This thing, this kit, all of these components, everything in these boxes are what's going to elevate this build from being your niece's SUV that she used to just drive to school. Honda CR-V, everybody knows there's not too much good stuff about a Honda CR-V besides the fact that it is a B series. I actually had a turbo B series Integra about maybe 2 years ago or so that I did on channel. It was pink. I painted it some blue color. So that was a B series turbo Integra. This is going to be a B series all-wheel drive El Camino. I love the B20 turbo. It was a really great setup. The motor wasn't built, it was just bone stock. We threw about, I don't know, 12 PSI at it. Did about 250 wheel horsepower. And that Integra was awesome. I did not even have a super high quality kit. Jack Spania Racing. This is the top of the line kit. I could not be more excited for this. Thank you for shopping with us. Jack Spania Racing. What I'm gonna do is get everything out of the box and just go over exactly what we have. So when I was talking with my contact over there, we didn't even go over a parts list. I didn't get a full list of everything that I was getting. This is really more of a surprise for me. So we got two smaller fans right here. I'm just gonna get into it, lay everything out, and then we will figure out what all I got. I don't know turbo size, I don't know intercooler size, I don't know color, I don't know piping, I don't know anything. I just trust that these guys are gonna get me taken care of. And it's actually way more exciting, dude. This is like Christmas. So I already see a crazy little turbo downpipe right here. V-band unit. God, I am so excited for all of this stuff. Like I said, this is going to bring the build to the next level. And this is AC friendly turbo manifold. What we got is, I want to keep AC in this thing. So this manifold is going to set the turbo in a way that it's not going to get in the way of the AC compressor, AC condenser, any of the lines. God, look at this thing, dude. I'm gonna have to wipe this down because you shouldn't be getting your fingerprints all over this awesome looking ram horn, AC friendly. They probably use an HTP welder over there, man. These welds are solid. All cleaned out. Ridiculously nice. GT3582R, T3.82 turbo housing with V-band flange. Oh yeah, baby. Here's the snail right in here. Get out of here. Ooh. Gaskets, you need those. Like I said, dude, this is truly like Christmas because I didn't know what I was getting. I just told him what I'm trying to do. He's like, be looking out for a package here in the next few days. This is what we got. And again, this is all from Jack Spania Racing. I cannot thank those guys enough for getting behind this build and helping me out to make something truly pretty cool. It's gonna offend a lot of old people. That's what I'm trying to do. Oh yeah, baby. This is the money maker right here. Here we go. Jack Spania Racing right on the turbo. How freaking sick is that? So I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is a This is a Radiator intercooler combo kit. Look at this thick boy. This thing's gonna have plenty of space in the front of the El Camino. I cannot wait to start to get this kit going, get everything routed, and get this thing making all of the right, well, wrong noises for an El Camino, right noises for us. Jack Spania Racing, man, hooked it up. Woo! Really super hype. Can you tell? This is gonna be sick. have a really good idea of exactly where our intercooler radiator combo is going. I want it to be right up here, but it has to be back far enough to clear these bumper brackets. These bumper brackets that I still need to weld out, I just kind of have them tacked in there. I will address that eventually. So I need to get the old radiator ripped out of here. I went ahead and I drained it already. This is something that I didn't want to take out right away, but it is what it is. You gotta do what you gotta do in order to keep things moving. So what I'm thinking for next, let's get the factory header ripped off. Let's put the turbo manifold on with the turbo. Then I can see where this needs to be. Then I can see where the intercooler needs to be, and those will ultimately help me figure out where I want my AC condenser to go. If I was just ripping out AC of this thing, it would be so much easier, but I think it would be nice to keep AC. I don't want to just go the easy way out. I actually want it to be nice in the end. Alright, so we are working on things and stuff, and what we got going on is I have the intercooler radiator combo exactly where it has to be in order for it to be as close to the turbo manifold as possible. And the reason why I have it as close as possible is because there are the fans on the back. Now the fans kind of bulge out a little bit, so that's like an inconsistent surface. So I want to put the AC condenser in front of the intercooler. Now we got a decent amount of room here behind the grill, but the problem is the bumper sits right flush with these stands right here, and we were already pretty much flush with these guys. There's just not enough room to snake the AC condenser in there, so I have to modify the bumper just a little bit. We're just kind of whittling away at this, seeing what's in the way, addressing that, fixing that, getting closer and closer until eventually we have this thing as a all-wheel drive, manual, turbo, AC El Camino. That's the goal in the end. So officially right now, it has been a struggle, it has been a fight to get here, but you can see we have the intercooler there, we have the AC condenser in front of it. Now the lift that I got covers it. I might put some more holes in the lift to direct more air to the condenser. We also need to make sure the condenser is protected, but as you can see, we got everything looking really good to go. Now one thing is, I have the radiator part upside down so that way these lines line up with everything a little bit better. With it being upside down, how the brackets are offset, it's actually sitting lower than I need it to be. I want it to go up a little bit higher because right now the fans do not fit. But either way, man, it is what it is. So now that we have everything pretty much figured out, let's go ahead and get this thing hard mounted in there so that way we can rerun the lines that I disconnected, and then this thing will be done and all good. So many times I just thought to myself, it would be so easy to just get rid of the AC altogether, but in the end it's going to be so much better to leave AC in this rig. Alright, so we have made some really good progress. As you can see, we got the front bumper on, the lip is on. Now you can see part of the AC condenser bolts kind of comes through right here. One thing that I'm thinking or foreseeing for the future is if you can see the condenser kind of stops right here. It's really at this fin level and then lower, and it stops right about at this lip. So I'm thinking that I'm definitely going to want to do something in order to get more air to this because 60% of it is blocked. So maybe some speed holes right here or some rectangular ducting, possibly some holes in the lip. Either way, we need to direct some air towards the condenser. I might even think about getting another fan just for the condenser itself. So now that we got the front end on, I know exactly where everything's going to be sitting. We have condenser, we have intercooler, and we have radiator, then we have fans. Full package, everything is in here. I did not know if it was going to work out. You would think I'd have a lot more room since the El Camino front end is a lot larger than like a Civic front end, but I think they run theirs lower, and so now I need to get the front end torn back down so that way I can figure out how to rerun my lines. Hopefully I don't have to make new ones. If I do, it is what it is. If I don't have to, it's going to be a lot better. Alright, so with this install, we are moving right along. We are whittling problems out left and right. So one thing that I did is I welded on these tabs right here. We got this guy and that guy. Then we have a rod going to this original mounting piece. So that way this is really nice and stable. That guy back there is still loose, but either way we have bottom mounts and top mounts for the condenser. That is all good. I reran the lines. As you can see, everything is going in right there. It used to go way up there in that area, so I had to move that guy back just a little bit. So all of the lines are good and everything is connected as it should be, so AC is 100% knocked out. Now I'm having another problem. I know earlier in the video I mentioned that I had to flip the radiator upside down so that way we can clear the fans, but then that was just going to cause the filler side to be on the wrong side. So I am facing a issue with that. I do not want the filler on this side, I want it on the other side. So ultimately I want to get the fillers on the correct side. So you would think you could just chop off those connections, re-weld them on the other side, but the radiator is probably baffled, so that way hot coolant comes in, goes around and around and around and around, and then out the same exact side. I don't know if it makes one turn or if it kind of snakes back and forth, but I do know that where it goes in and where it goes out is not directly above and below one another, because it would just be cooling in, cooling out if that was the case. Ultimately, the best thing that we can do is flip it, so I think I'm going to try to mount that on its own as opposed to mounting it on the intercooler, because if it's mounted on the intercooler, it is sitting too low because of the offset. So I need to work through this and get it figured out. So let's go ahead and make some changes on the radiator, get it mounted, and then we will have everything mounted and finalized. So after figuring some stuff out, we are really in good shape right now. So I put these 2 new tabs right here. These tabs actually hold up the radiator themselves. There are bolts that are holding up the intercooler. The intercooler and radiator used to be held on to one another. That is not the case anymore. So we are actually distributing the load a little bit better by supporting more than what it was originally supported. And I actually added a bolt-in little tab right here that clamps the radiator and intercooler together. So we are nice and solid, and I am really satisfied with this. I got all the rooms that I need for my fans, my filler necks on the correct side. Now the radiator is upside down. I actually ran a radiator upside down in my LS swapped Honda Accord for years. That was a Mishimoto radiator. When I turned it upside down, that was W for Wumbo for Wombology, and that actually worked out just fine for me. So I am waiting on intercooler piping, blow-off valve, wastegate, all of that stuff. I will figure that out when it gets here. But I see point A, I see point B as far as this intercooler pipe. Point A right here, point B right there. That should be really quick, easy, and relatively straightforward. I don't need to figure out all the AC lines that I did, so 90% of the turbo kit install is knocked out. Also, I did get a new hood because my last one that I got was all dented up. This one is another brand new one that is also dented up. So at this point, it is what it is. I'm not going to worry about it. The other one was really dented. This one just has a few dents and dings in it that I'm going to work out. Whatever. So really cool to get the turbo kit all sorted and figured out. Let's get back to sanding, sweating, and getting this thing closer to that final paint job. So right now we have the body in different stages as I've been working around the car. The car was backed in for a while, so I was working on this side a whole bunch because the workbench is on that side, which this side was on. And then now that I turned it around, I've been working on that side. So this side is a little bit further ahead than that side. That side over there, we just did our direct to metal primer. This side already had the direct to metal primer, then that got scuffed, and now we have a high build primer. Now with this high build primer, we can really start to lay down our guide coat, block it out, see where our low spots are, try to get those low spots to become flush. If we have any high points, we can go ahead and knock those down. But at this point, we just want to start to refine the body. Over there, I need to scuff it, and then I need to prime it in order for that to be caught up with this side. So a lot of this stuff is why I haven't uploaded in quite a while, because I've just been working on knocking all the rust out, getting it down to bare metal, sanding, priming, doing some metal work, reworking the doors. Both of the doors are good to go. I was really worried about that. I was debating on getting new doors, but really new doors would have been like $1,500, and then I was thinking if I get new doors I should probably get a new roof, but the whole style and the whole feel of the build is really not like that. I'm not trying to go crazy and do any kind of restoration or SEMA quality build. I just kind of want to have something that's going to be cool, budget friendly, and fun, and I think we are doing just that. Also, the turbo kit, I have intercooler piping on the way, blow off valve on the way, wastegate on the way. Also, another thing that I wanted to mention, I know in the last video I got wheels. I am not in love with the front fitment of the wheels. I know we mentioned that I could grind down the brakes a little bit and make them fit and maybe throw in a little spacer, but I don't have any room for a little spacer because it already sticks out a little bit too far. So I'm contemplating on just ditching those wheels and getting something else, maybe going with a Japanese wheel. We'll see. One thing that I do know for sure though is we have an all-wheel drive, manual, turbo, B-Series El Camino, and I don't know anybody else who can say that. So coming up in the next video, or really soon, we are going to get into the paint job for this thing. I cannot wait to show you what's on my mind. It's a paint job that I've been wanting to do for quite a long time, and honestly, with how rough this body has been, I was thinking about ditching that idea and just bedlining the whole thing and being done with it, but I think that's kind of a disservice for my skills, for my viewers and everything. I don't necessarily want to take the easy way out. I want it to look good in the end, and I think we're already doing really good. Keep in mind, this El Camino was rotting when I bought it. So do me a favor, leave a comment down below. Let me know how your uncle's El Camino is doing. Is it still sitting in the trailer park? Because all El Caminos are required to sit in trailer parks, and I don't know if this one's gonna do that. So alrighty, thank you guys so much for watching. Like this video, comment, subscribe, do all the stuff. You know what it is, YouTube. I'll see you on the next one. I'm out.